The helicopter's rotors faded into the distance, leaving only silence and the sound of her own heartbeat. Mud clung to her boots. Rain dripped from the canopy above. They had left her there alone, unarmed, and surrounded by an endless stretch of jungle that seemed to breathe with life and danger. Lieutenant Samantha Sam Rhodes stood still, her breath misting in the humid air. Her team was gone, her radio dead, her mission compromised. But the fire in her eyes, still burning. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're rewatching from. I love knowing who's listening. They called it a training exercise, but Sam knew it was more than that. Someone had wanted her out of the way, the only woman in her SEAL unit, the one who had outperformed them all. A simple extraction mission in the South Pacific had turned into an ambush. The helicopter pilot claimed engine trouble, but the look in his eyes before takeoff had told her everything. She'd been betrayed. Now, left in the heart of the jungle with nothing but her instincts, Sam tightened the strap of her pack and whispered to herself, "If they think I'll die out here, they don't know who they're dealing with." The forest seemed to close around her, vines twisting like veins, insects humming like electricity. She could smell the damp earth, the sharp scent of moss, the metallic temps of rain. Hours passed. The sun dipped low. She found shelter in the hollow of an ancient tree, wrapping her arms around her knees as thunder rolled in the distance. Somewhere out there, she knew her betrayers were watching, testing her, waiting for her to fail. She thought she'd never see them again. She was wrong. At dawn, Sam moved like a shadow through the jungle. Her boots were silent against the wet ground, her eyes scanning every movement. Years of SEAL training kicked in, reading terrain, following animal trails, collecting rainwater, tracking direction from the moss on trees. By mid-morning, she found what she'd been looking for. Footprints, fresh ones. Military issue. Her team. A memory flashed, their laughter around a campfire, the teasing, the respect she'd earned inch by inch. And then Captain Harris's voice, cold and smug. "You're tough, Rhodes. But this is a man's game. Don't forget that." She hadn't forgotten, not for a second. Now, following those prints, she felt her heart beat slow into rhythm. Calm, focused, deadly. The jungle was her ally now. By nightfall, she reached their temporary base, a clearing near a river, camouflaged under netting. She crouched behind a cluster of palms watching them. Harris and the others sat around a fire, laughing. They looked relaxed, almost careless. She counted 5 men, all armed, all unaware that the woman they'd abandoned was watching them like a lion in the tall grass. Then she saw it, a map spread out on the table, marked with coordinates. A red X that was her final insult. They'd planned to report her as Kia. Sam's jaw tightened. The rain started again, soft and relentless. She could have attacked right then, 1 woman against 5. But that wasn't the SEAL way. The mission came first. She waited until they slept, till the only sound was the rhythmic hum of the jungle. Then she moved. She crept into the camp, silent as fog. One by one, she disarmed them, removed magazines, cut zip ties, emptied canteens. When Harris finally stirred, she was already standing over him, her face streaked with mud, her eyes cold. He froze. "Rhodes." "You left me to die," she said, voice low and even. Bad strategy. He tried to reach for his weapon. She kicked it away. "You think SEALs rule the sea?" she whispered. "We rule anywhere we're dropped." By morning, a rescue chopper circled the jungle, responding to her distress flare. When it landed, the medics found Sam standing tall, rifle slung over her shoulder, her traitorous team sitting behind her in silence. As they lifted off, Harris avoided her gaze. But Sam looked out over the jungle, watching the emerald canopy roll beneath them like waves. The place that was meant to break her had forged her instead. When they landed back at base, the commanding officer approached. "Lieutenant Rhodes," he said, his voice firm. "Reports say you were abandoned during training, yet you made it out and brought your entire team back alive." She nodded. They needed a reminder of what real teamwork looks like. His eyes softened. "You've got it, Lieutenant. You're leading the next operation." For the first time in days, she smiled. It's not wide, not proud, just quiet satisfaction. Weeks later, the same men who had once doubted her now followed her orders without question. They had seen her strength, her patience, her mercy. And sometimes when new recruits asked what happened in that jungle, she'd simply say, "They left me behind." But I never stopped moving forward, because strength is in T, found in survival alone. It's in what you do after you've been left behind. And somewhere deep in that wild, untamed jungle, the rain still fell like applause for the woman who refused to be forgotten. If this story inspired you, share it with someone who believes in never giving up. And don't forget to subscribe to Cinematic Whispers, where every story proves that courage doesn't vanish, it adapts.